Hi, I'm Kieran Don, and welcome to Giant Chat, YouTube's #1 and only GWS talk show. We're the only one, which means we're the best, and we're also the worst. If there was other videos out there dedicated to GWS, we'd be the worst, but I haven't really done my research. It could be, but yeah. Anyway, thank fuck 2020 is over. Oh man, that was a bad season for the men's anyway. And the women had a pretty good season, and hopefully they continue with that. They play their first game against Freo today, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, 2020. Oh man, the season where we were meant to do something and we flopped big time. And now we lost a lot of players, but I think some of those players needed to go. So let's just hope they don't play too well with their new clubs, which does happen a lot. You know, I mean, look at Tom Scully. He won't be playing at all this season. Sorry, I've got a message. You bitch. There's millions of girls like you. Yeah. Text from a former friend of the show, former #1 draft pick of all time for GWS, John Patton, who left us to go to Hawthorn. Yeah. He's sending girls and myself rude text messages. He's sending these in a hope to find a girl, girlfriend. Why don't you just go on Tinder? I like to think that the reason he left GWS is like no one really up here knew who he was. So he was like, when he sent like rude texts to girl, they're like, who the fuck is this? But now in Melbourne, they're like, oh fuck, that AFL player is sending me rude texts. Yeah. So we lost a lot of players. John Patton was one, but we didn't lose him last year. We lost him the year before. But we got we got Jesse Hogan, the cover for Jeremy Cameron. I was a fan of Jesse Hogan when he played for Melbourne, and they did the whole Hogan Heroes thing. And hopefully maybe we could do that. That could be a promo, Hogan Heroes, Clubs steal our players, so why don't we steal their ideas for halftime entertainment? He didn't have the best season at Freo. We got him for cheap compared to what Freo paid for him. And he didn't have the best season at the end of his Melbourne life. But I have faith because in Sydney, there's not as much pressure as what you have down in the AFL Mad State. So he might be able to relax. Like if you remember first round pick and all-time loose unit Jack Watts, who retired age 27 because of all the pressures and injuries and stuff. I reckon if he was to play for GWS or Sydney or Gold Coast, I think he would have a better, funner time playing. But, he's 27. He could come out of retirement. He's still pretty young. But anyway, that's not the point. So the draft happened. We gave 2 draft picks to Collingwood for a future first round pick. And I like Collingwood. It's kind of weird. Collingwood, I like them. There's like one of my favorite Melbourne teams, if not my favorite. But now I kind of want them to go bad so we can get a better draft pick. Kind of like probably how Adelaide was probably hoping we would lose last season so they would get a better draft pick. And you're welcome, Adelaide. We went bad. You got a good draft pick. But anyway, the players we drafted a midfielder in Tanner Braun. Probably mispronounced his name. But a lot of people were saying that he didn't look too happy when he got drafted. And yeah, but I reckon it might have been nerves. He's from Geelong. A lot of people reckon he's going to go to Geelong once his contract with GWS is up, which happens with so many other draft picks. But I don't know if he was unhappy. I think he was just nervous and surprised. Imagine he would have spent most of his life trying to get drafted, like exercising, eating right, not going out to parties or anything, just dedicating his life to AFL. Then he got drafted. He heard his name, and it's kind of like, wow, what's the next step? I remember when someone watched one of my videos on YouTube for the first time, the feeling I had. Hey, someone watched one of my videos on YouTube. I got 1 view. Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Thanks very much. Thanks. Our second pick, we got Connor Stone, who's a medium forward. So hopefully he helps fill the void of Jeremy Cameron and Zach Langdon. But, we got other good players. We got like Harry Himmelberg. We got Jesse Hogan, who I spoke about before. Brett Daniels, Jeremy Finlayson. So, and there's more. I reckon Jeremy Cameron, hopefully, it won't be as missed as much as people say he will. He kicked the most goals because he got the most. He's a good player. I'm not denying that. But he kicked the most goals for us because he was our main target in the attack. Everyone always kicked him. Our third pick was Ryan Agwin. I like him because he has the word "win" in his name, and he's also a midfielder. We've drafted a lot of midfielders, which I don't know. We already got a lot of midfielders at the club now. Xavier Harron, he chose to stay at the club. Which is good. So at least one player chose to stay loyal for at least for one more season. And we got Tom Green and Josh Kelly, who's off contract. The name goes on. Steve Colinio, Lockie Whitfield, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's weird that we drafted so many midfielders. Cameron Fleeton, who's a defender we drafted, and Jacob Weir, who was born in 98, sorry. So he's he's a lot older than the other draftees that night. He probably would have thought that his days of getting drafted was over, but we chose him, and there's a good chance that he would slot straight into that team. We do like our older recruits, so I reckon there's a good chance that he will play over 5 games this year for us. We also drafted Sam Reid, who must hold the record of being drafted the most times by players. Will Shaw, who's a halfback, and we also Zach Sproul, who I was a bit worried that we were going to let go. He's a forward who kicks a lot of goals in reserve grade. He's played 1 game in top flight, didn't kick any goals, but I'm confident that he might be okay. So the AFLW started this weekend, and our first game is against Freo. I'm going to watch it. It's on in like a few hours. I reckon it's going to be good. We played awesome last year. Almost made it to the grand final, which then didn't happen, I don't think. I think COVID fucked everything up. But we got two rookies playing today in Tanny Evans, who's 18, and Aaron Todd, who's 34. So he's got like different ends of the spectrum. You got youth and you got experience. And even though they're both rookies, though she probably would have played a lot of football at age 34. So I'm hoping that's going to go good. I can't really talk about it because it hasn't happened yet. My next video, I hopefully will. Thanks for watching. It's my first video in a while. Hopefully people watch it. Another text from John Patton. I won't read this one. This one's a bit too rude. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please press the like button. Please subscribe. Go Giants. Never surrender. Thanks for watching. I'm Kieran Don. Kieran Don out.